who's really fighting for his cup medal. Could he score the winning goal now?
Good evening. It was all singing, all dancing and a great deal of speech-making in Rome today, but in the end they completed what should have been the simple task of making the World Cup draw. Eventually, Luciano Pavarotti was the man responsible for another meeting between England and the Republic of Ireland. Holland and Egypt are also in the group.
The Republic of Ireland.
To draw Era and Holland again, who we met and played in the European Championships 2 years ago, is quite incredible. And in the same sequence, Era first match, Holland second match.
Last time we played England, we won, and we scored first. And the game, they had a few chances and might have equalised, but it was a good competitive game. I'm sure we'll have another good competitive game.
Scotland will play Brazil for the third time over 5 World Cups. They'll also meet Sweden and Costa Rica. Well, tonight we'll have the draw for the third round of the FA Cup. No singing, no dancing, but very orderly and of vital interest to the clubs who won through the second round today, because, of course, the big guns from the top 2 divisions will be involved. Now, Colchester United know a bit about giant killing in the Cup. 1971 was their big year.
Lewis for Colchester. And Simmons 1 against 1 here. Simmons and Reedy. And it's there!
Today, Colchester played Birmingham, managed by that famous old Cup warrior, Dave Mackay. Now, here's a man who knows a thing or two about cups. He sells them. His name is Kevin Todd. He's also the captain of non-league Whitley Bay, who'd already knocked out league opposition in the shape of Scarborough in round 1. Now, Whitley Bay were up against Preston, famous club, famous past, Cup winners before the war. Well, Jimmy's here, Gary Lineker's here. Spurs are number 39 in the draw later on. 11.25 for that, by the way, Gary. And you scored today. Congratulations. What, 30, 40 yarder or something like that?
30 inches is about.
30 inches, well, they all count. Right, first action then. Whitley Bay against Preston North End and John Motson.
The flavour of the FA Cup spreads to the Northumberland coast as Whitley Bay savour the most important day in their history. The all-ticket crowd of 4,500 inside Hillheads Park have paid just over £16,000, more than Whitley Bay's entire gate receipts for the past 3 seasons. Well, they have 6 players with Football League experience, but the whole team is North-East born and bred, with the 2 strikers, number 9 Ian Chandler and number 10 Kevin Todd, each having scored over 20 goals already this season. Preston are managed by a man who knows this area well, the former Newcastle centre-half John McGrath. In goal, 21-year-old Alan Kelly is the son of Alan Kelly Sr., who played in goal for North End the last time they got to the FA Cup final in 1964. Well, referee Bill Burns from Scarborough gets his FA Cup tie underway. The mouth of the Tyne may seem a long way from Cagliari in Sardinia, but Whitley Bay proud to be wearing a new set of shirts today, provided by the England manufacturers. Blue and white stripes, blue shorts. Preston, also in a new strip, all yellow. Oh, and Todd's away, and he's got Chandler to his left if he can find him. It's still Kevin Todd, and it's now Chandler. And a chance goes begging for Whitley Bay. It fell in the end to Ian Chandler. Kevin Todd had a lot of space and took a while to decide which option to take. Here's Ellis for Preston at the other end. Patterson. Harper. And still Harper. Throw into Preston. Swan's going to take it. Harper. Swan again. Oh, that's nicely played by Swan. And Patterson goes in. Good header out by Teasdale. Corner to Preston. First corner. Ian Bogey has gone across to take it. Atkins and Hughes both in the near post area. So too, for that matter, is Mooney. It's been played back to Patterson. And Bogey again. Owen dropped by Brian Dixon. But Whitley Bay breathe again and wonder whether they should have scored at the other end. Well, that was the end of the run by Todd, and Chandler's shot tamely at the goalkeeper. But they might debate whether Todd could have gone alone or even passed earlier. Here's Patterson. This is Swan. And it's Joyce. Todd. He's got a lot of skill, Kevin Todd. Forward by Mark Little. Todd's header, Walker. Oh, here's Pearson. And Kelly's come to meet him. Corner to Whitley Bay. Now the plan here is for Walker to curl the ball in. Teasdale and Chandler will go to the near post. And Gowans and Robinson will come in at the far. Chandler with Kelly. This is Teasdale. Oh, goodness me, Preston were glad to get that ball away. This is Mooney now. Clever ball player. Tries to get Ian Bogey away. Plenty of players in the middle if he can find Joyce. Here it's on. There's so many waiting for a cross, and it never came. And they're screaming at him. So now it's a corner to Preston. Back again to Mooney. Hughes in there. Joyce, good effort. Oh, and then it was Harper, the second shot. And it's very fast moving, this cup tie. We're getting attacks, first one and then the other. And it promises to be that sort of game. Gowans leaning a bit, maybe. This is Harper. Dawson's foul, free kick. Oh, and Hughes was there. What a fine save by Brian Dixon. And Adrian Hughes must have thought he'd scored. It was a good header by the number 6. And the Whitley Bay goalkeeper, Brian Dixon, 23-year-old chef in the catering department of a local hospital, will be remembered for that save here at Hillheads Park. He's only playing, or has been, because Tony Harrison is injured, but what a good save there. As you'll see, he got the glance header all right, did Hughes, but what a good piece of goalkeeping. And it keeps Whitley Bay all square. Pearson. Forward run by Johnson, number 6, Billy Johnson. Walker. Still Walker, trying to hold them off. Free kick. Foul by Joyce. Gowans and Robinson are waiting to come in from the far side on this one. And that's Walker who fires it. And now we have an excellent save at the other end from Alan Kelly. The shot by Paul Walker, well delivered from distance. Here's Swan for Preston. Well, the Kellys are quite a goalkeeping family. There's also brother Gary, who's been playing for Bury, but Walker hit that with venom, and Alan Kelly Jr., his father, would have been proud of that save. Patterson back to Swan. In it goes to Ellis. Touch-on didn't really work, but Harper came in. That was a heck of a shot by Steve Harper. 20 years old, a winger who's really been brought in today by John McGrath to widen the attack, and he struck that perfectly. Depending where you were in the ground, there would be many people thinking that was going to go in. That was Joyce, that was Teasdale. Oh, mistake, and here's Todd. Well, it was a mistake which was quickly rectified. It was Bob Atkins who stepped in to rescue the situation after Gary Swan had slipped up. Robinson, Harper for Preston. Nicely done by Harper. Oh, it's a corner. Dixon just scrambled it round. Patterson would have preferred a pass, mind you, but Harper was going for goal there. Bogey with the corner then. They're in trouble, and they've scrambled it away. The goalkeeper was grateful for the men behind him on the line. Bogey. And a good header out, solid this time by Robinson. And Preston really piling it on now. This is Mooney. And Joyce. And chipped away by Dixon, an awkward one as he backpedaled. From Warren Joyce, the Preston captain. A sustained spell here by Preston. Mooney, in by Williams. Joyce. Actually, Preston are playing quite well in this period. This is Swan. Ellis. And to be fair to Whitley Bay, they're defending very stoutly too. Atkins. Chandler. And now Joyce out to Harper. Ellis and Patterson waiting in the middle. Here's Patterson. That's a good ball to Mooney. Goal kicks as the referee. Whitley Bay have never been as far in the FA Cup as this. Indeed, it was the first year they've ever reached the first round proper. And having won at Scarborough, they now have this attractive home tie. Free kick to Whitley Bay. It was Hughes on Chandler. Pearson. Hold on well there. He's still got Gowans in the penalty area here. And here comes Gowans. And Preston, with Harper doing a nice little job there as a defender, managed to get the ball back to Kelly. Chandler. Forward by Williams. Pearson. Johnson. Dawson outright. This is Liddell. And it goes through towards Todd. And Bob Atkins clears for Preston, only as far as Mark Liddell for Whitley Bay. Chandler's in there on the end of this. Teasdale. Good ball. Free kick, Mooney on Teasdale. Robinson and Pearson hit the heels. Robinson, goal! Whitley Bay have scored, and it was Robinson at the second attempt of his who got the ball in the net. Peter Robinson. Free kick taken by Walker, and Robinson comes in first. The ball is headed out. And what happens here is that Pearson's shot just comes loose, and Robinson tucks that wide of the left hand. 33 minutes, and the side from the HFS Loans League lead 3rd Division Preston, and Hillheads Park celebrates. Here's Chandler. Pearson. 32-year-old Peter Robinson, the hero of the moment, a student teacher, most experienced player, in fact, in the Whitley Bay side, number 4, and he's put them in front. And Preston will regret that free kick given away by Mooney. Walker. Chandler. Oh, it's a good ball by Johnson through to Walker. And at half-time at Hillheads Park, it's going the way of the would-be giant killers. Whitley Bay lead Preston by 1-0, courtesy of number 4, Peter Robinson. And having seen them play last week at Droylsden, I must say the standard of their league is quite high, and that they're certainly pleasing their fans and show they deserve to be on the same pitch as a 3rd Division team. One of the greatest legends of post-war football, Tom Finney, formerly of Preston North End and England, and now the club president, is here today to receive a cheque for the Children in Need appeal. Well, having spent a couple of days in the northeast, I'm told they call this up here a claggy pitch. Bit of sticky mud around, and it's typical cup-tie conditions really for the second round. And it's bogey on the ball for Preston, who have to come from behind in the second half and are now playing from right to left. That was Joyce finding Swan. Tries to get it in early, Patterson's header, and there was a free kick given. Patterson was impeded, and Preston with a chance in the first attack of the second half. So forward goes Hughes, Forward goes Atkins. Hughes is up. And a little touch by Joyce to Mooney. Whitley Bay really have been fired up for this one by Bobby Graham, their manager. No question about that. They're obviously all part-timers. Todd, beaten. Right, here's Walker. Hit him as he lay on the ground. Johnson to Dawson. Now can they find Chandler? Actually, it was Todd that was nearer to it. Swan, Harper. Now it's Tony Dawson. Todd's made a very good run coming in from the far side if he can be found. Oh, and Pearson's there, and this is Todd! It's 2! It's 2-0 to Whitley Bay! Well, the excitement round the ground now, quite tremendous. It was a good enough move, and they had the extra man over, and they've made it 2-0. An hour gone, and Kevin Todd has sent this little ground on the Northumberland coast into sheer ecstasy. And Gamble, substitute nearly sneaked in. Again, just look how fast Whitley Bay are to the loose ball. Pearson. Todd! Oh, it came back off the post! And Kevin Todd holds his head, although the linesman is flagging, I suspect, for an offside. Good move again by Whitley Bay. Again, it came because they got to the loose ball quicker than Preston. Patterson. Harper. No. Well, Little could have cleared that and didn't. Joyce. Oh, it's not. I was going to say it's a goal for Flynn. Well, how he missed that, I don't think he even knows. Mike Flynn on his debut was virtually given an open goal. Whitley Bay made their first really bad defensive error on the far side, and look at this. Oh dear. And with that miss, surely has gone the last chance that Preston had of rescuing their pride on a very bad day. Just a few seconds away from glory. Whitley Bay is the chance, and there it is! And Whitley Bay will be in the headlines all weekend, and for a bit longer too. Sporting handshake by John McGrath to Bobby Graham, whose team have made the Cup news today. Paul Dixon there, the assistant with him. 2-0, quite emphatic, thoroughly deserved, and a very well-planned victory. A goal in each half, Robinson after 33 minutes, and then Kevin Todd on the hour, after a lovely little pass by Pearson. And Bobby Graham will be the happiest manager in football this evening as his team from the HFS Loans League defeat 3rd Division Preston to record one of the shocks for which the FA Cup is famous. And now they look forward to going into the 3rd round draw tonight with all the big boys. Yes, the flavour of the Cup really came today to the Northumberland coast. Well, Kevin, Whitley Bay, without doubt at all now, the giant killers of the FA Cup this season. What do you think was the key to today's victory?
I would think all-round teamwork, you know. we knew Preston were going to be a good footballing side, and I think they proved to be today. But we knew we had a team talk last night, and we knew we had to come out and get at them because we're a good footballing team. And I think it paid off today.
Certainly the tackling was tigerish. The appetite was always there from the kick-off, I thought.
Oh, that's right. I mean, Bobby told us the first 15, 20 minutes, you know, to get stuck in and, you know, don't give them any room because the lads can play, especially like Ian Bogie, and home from Newcastle. And they can play, and if you allow them to play, well, they'll just torture you. And I thought the first 15, 20 minutes, we had to close them down, and I think the midfield lads especially did very well.
And the first goal, of course, came from a central defender.
That's right, yeah. The last couple of rounds has been good for our central defenders. I mean, Chris got the one against Scarborough, and Peter popped up today, Peter Robinson got the one today, which is great for us, you know, just before half-time. And it always gives you a little bit of a boost, you know, to go in at half-time, and, you know, the next 45 it's up to yourselves, really.
Your goal on the hour, I think you give a bit of credit to Laurie Pearson there, wouldn't you?
Yes, it was a great move. I mean, I can't remember how it started, but it came to Laurie, and I was on the outside left of him, actually, and he knocked it to us, which he doesn't normally do, but you see, he did this time, and I went in the back of the net.
Come on now, who would you like when those balls are drawn out the bag tonight?
Well, I've got to say Liverpool, Manchester United, Tottenham, Everton or Arsenal. It's got to be one of those clubs that I would like. You know, I wouldn't be too disappointed if we just got Chelsea or somewhere like that.
Well, that was a turn-up, Jim, and they were worthy winners.
They were indeed. I mean, it wasn't just they were 2 goals up at the end of the game. They thoroughly deserved it. They played as good a football, if not better, than Preston North End, and they got a touch of luck with that first goal. It was a very tight offside decision, but just showing how difficult it is for linesmen to be accurate. They got the advantage, but they deserve their win, and they deserve a very good draw in a moment or two.
And just to remind you, that draw is at 11:25. Well, now that Colchester-Birmingham match, it's 4th Division against 3rd, Tony Gubber at Layer Road.
Dave Mackay never had to negotiate the early rounds of the FA Cup as a player, and it's a completely new experience for his Birmingham team. Now into the 3rd Division for the first time in their history, and conscious that Colchester, the scene of such famous giant-killing acts in the past, could prove a real minefield, even if they are currently struggling 91st in the Football League. The Colchester team is the usual mixture of old heads like Jim Hagan, Billy Gilbert, Trevor Morgan and Tommy English, who've all been around, and a few babies, like the fullback Marcelo Bruce, who's only 18 and playing his 4th game today. He's the son of an American Forces airman and is incidentally eligible to play for the United States in the World Cup. Birmingham have struggled to score of late, and they've gambled on the return of number 5, Vince Overson, back for his first game after being out 2 months injured, although he did appear for the reserves in midweek. Tony Ward of London, the referee, as Birmingham start this second round FA Cup tie in the yellow shirts, attacking the goal to the right. 7 was Bennett for Colchester, and that'll stay in. Frayne gets it back to his keeper, Martin Thomas. Capped once for the Welsh, and played once at Tottenham Hotspur, although he never really made the first team. Now 30 years of age. And the other manager, familiar face of Jot Wallace, who won the treble twice during his days as manager at Glasgow Rangers. And this will give Birmingham an opportunity for Overson to go forward. And there's Overson. Marked by Tony English. Got the little flick on, Bailey! Oh yes, Cleghorn! Well, Colchester are in disarray and they're appealing for a handball. But Tony Ward's already sprinted back to the halfway line. Nigel Cleghorn's 4th goal of the season. And only 4 minutes gone. Well, it wasn't a handball they were appealing for, it was certainly an offside. And Tony Ward looked perfectly placed and didn't give it. Bailey, just 1 man in front of him. Now it's 2. Ashley. Away by Gilbert to Bennett. Oh, it might drop nicely for Ashley. Oh, he got a hand to it, the keeper. And it was Daniels who hooked it away. Well, I'm not sure whether John Grace did the right thing there or not. It worked out all right for Colchester in the end. just got a fingertip to it. Has actually drilled it across the 6-yard box. If he'd left it, it may well have gone behind. Gilbert. Tommy English. Oh, took it nicely on his chest. This is Collins. Tries to find Wilkins, and Wilkins might get it. Tony English. Tommy English. Wilkins came off the defender, that'll be a corner. Well, halfway through the first half, and it would certainly be a big uplift for Colchester if they could level the score. Collins wants to take it quickly. English! Well, that's perhaps the first real goal-scoring attempt that Colchester have managed. Their captain, Tony English. Ashley, the fullback. Overson. Again, it's a chase for Dennis Bailey. Oh, dangerous when they run at the man, these two. A good ball in. Oh, that looked like a push by Bruce. And Gleghorn, the player who ended up entangled in the net. Now, one or two anxious looks towards the referee then. Hooked in by Bailey. And, well, a bit more theatrical than dangerous, wasn't it, Gleghorn? Bell tries to get it inside. Hagan. Sturridge has got quite a turn of speed. And that'll be a corner. And once again, it's John Frayne who's gone a long way from left back to take this corner. Kane Oberson is standing on the near post. Back by Frayne. Mathewson and over the top. Dennis Bailey, rather fortunate that he broke for him there because he rebounded off a defender. And that would have been a perfect end to the first half for Birmingham. Bruce tried to hook it clear. It came back off Bailey. And the attempt was high. Mathewson. And that's a Birmingham throw. Bailey. Again, they've allowed him to turn. Sturridge, yes! Oh no, it's a little push. Well spotted, referee. That was a real professional's trick, that one. But he just gave the defender a little nudge, Jim Hagan, and then drops off him. The goal disallowed. Gilbert. Bruce. Gilbert again. Oh, the touch wasn't strong enough. There's no offside here, Bailey. Oh, he's got a chance for a shot on goal. Well, there was no evidence there of the scoring touch, which has brought him 9 this season. He had a clear sight of John Grace in goal. And all because Gilbert and Bruce tried to play football between them in what was a silly position, really. Bennett. Bruce goes on the overlap. Collins. Bennett kept it in. There's nothing on for him. He's going to have to do it all on his own. And that's a good ball from that position. Keeper's dropped it for the first time. Bell. And Birmingham survive. Well, Martin Thomas has only mishandled once in the match, and that was it, and it nearly proved very costly. Wilkins leaves it for Hagan. Tommy English still playing out wide on the left. He can pump it back again. Just 12 minutes left. Header was by Collins, and it would have dropped in. And yet another change in corners. This time it's Tommy English who's gone across to take it. And that's hit really deep. Too deep even for Gilbert. Overson. Looping header by Eamon Collins. Bound for the top corner. Thomas tipped it over. Bailey to Langley. Ashley makes a break, and well, Tommy English didn't track with him, did he? Ashley. And this is eating up the last few seconds, and Birmingham won't complain. Bell. It'll be a throw to Birmingham. And Birmingham, a famous club with a first division setup at St Andrews, but currently third division status, in 10th place in the third division. Brilliantly shot. Birmingham now within the last few seconds of a place in the third round draw. Birmingham's travelling supporters in joyous voice on the far side as Taylor gives his directions. But these are the last few throws of the dice for Colchester. Bailey. Oh, good pity he lost his balance. Ashley was blocked, but it's Bell who's broken. Now there are two to look for in the middle, Hopkins and Cleghorn. Hopkins missed it, Cleghorn didn't. Nigel Cleghorn's second goal of the match. And that goal, Birmingham second, comes in injury time to guarantee their place in the third round draw. Hopkins couldn't quite reach, and Cleghorn did really well to pull it back from there.
And 2-0 was the final score, Birmingham through. Now, apart from Whitley Bay, who we've seen, there were 8 other non-league sides involved in the Cup this afternoon. Jerry Sinstad reporting.
Darlington are showing form in the FA Cup that reflects their confident season in the Vauxhall Conference. Drew Coverdale was their Mr. Unlikely against Halifax. The former Middlesbrough player, number 3 in the white shirt, opened the scoring by drilling a hole in the Halifax wall. Drew is really the club's physio. He played only because Frank Gray was injured. Coverdale was upstaged for a bit by fellow fullback Les McJanet, whose flourish at the finish was worthy of Dennis Law. But then it was Coverdale again, offering a tap-in for John Borthwick. And after a 3-0 win, guess who the former Middlesbrough man fancies next?
I'd like to play against Middlesbrough, yeah. That would be nice. Either their place or I'll bring them here, or a top first division club, anything like that.
Bishop Auckland were away to Crewe, and early in the second half, the Bishops, in blue, took the lead with Brian Healy's shot from the edge of the penalty area. Not much doubt about that, but if that set them wondering about tonight's draw, a handball decision 2 minutes later soon concentrated their minds. The deep cross seemed to be headed out of harm's way, but then the linesman had no doubt. And though Andy Fothergill may have been disappointed, the replay suggests pretty firm contact. Aidan Murphy's penalty meant both sides could look forward to the news from Lancaster Gate, and the Bishops can look forward to home advantage in Wednesday's replay. There were 4,500 spectators at Cardiff, but if they looked lost on the terraces, Gloucester City in yellow found their way in dazzling style for Steve Tallboys to score. Wayne Noble and Lance Morrison shared credit for the assist. The second was more basic, started by Morrison, finished with relish by Chris Townsend, 2-0. That's how it stayed until 7 minutes from time when Jeff Chandler took over. Maurice Scott met the pass to prove Gloucester didn't have a monopoly on spectacular goals. Chandler again 4 minutes later. Steve Lynex's header and Maurice Scott crashes in his second. Scott's not quite 19 and this was his first time in the starting lineup. Aylesbury United went to Northampton hoping to reach the third round for the first time. They're in green and white, and it was there Simon Mason who came closest to scoring with a shot against the post. Otherwise, Aylesbury defended well, but there was no cricket score at the county ground. It finished 0-0. Basingstoke were one up against Torquay United in the first minute. Barry Blankley gave the boys in blue a head start. The stuff of non-league dreams indeed. Shortly before half-time, though, Torquay pressure earned its reward. When the ball comes back off the post, Matthew Elliott bounces. Just after the interval, Mark Loram was played in for a shot that Nigel Mottishead helped over the line. Five minutes later, it was Loram again, this time unaided by opponents, making it 3-1. Clarkson's header in the last minute gave Basingstoke thoughts of what might have been. But it was Torquay who went home to wait for what will be. Hereford United entertained Merthyr Tydfil with some trepidation, but Colin Robinson's goal for Hereford, there in white, suggested they could improve on their poor record against raiders from over the border. Mark Jones was then put through by Robinson for 2-0, and that was the half-time score. But now, who says individual enterprise has been drilled out of our footballers? This is Paul Tester setting off on a run that culminates in a goal that may come to rank with Ronnie Radford's against Newcastle back in the early 70s. However, the Welsh Dragon suddenly began to breathe fire. David Whitley pulled one back. Two minutes later, Ian Thompson scored a second. But Hereford resumed control to the extent that a missed penalty wasn't relevant in the end. Woking were another non-league club who had a fruitless journey. They're in red shirts. Mike Cheetham put Cambridge United in charge here with a goal after 13 minutes. All round the country, it was a day of outstanding marksmanship. Chris Ledbetter, who started this move, finished it with a shot as accurate as it was ambitious. He looks up, and there's no accident about this. Woking may have been outscored, but they were not outplayed. Here's another quality goal. Lloyd Wise centre, Paul Mulvaney's final touch. but Cambridge had already missed a penalty when Alan Kimball set off on a run that ended with John Taylor making it Cambridge 3, Woking 1.
Some good goals, and the replay dates are like this: 2 on Tuesday and 5 on Wednesday, and Welling drew 0-0 with Reading today, a good performance. Right, reflections on the World Cup draw later, but now the draw for the third round of the FA Cup. Whitley Bay, incidentally, are number 47, Darlington number 50, and remember Gary, Spurs are 39. Bob Wilson's at Lancaster Gate.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the home of the Football Association. The draw for the third round is now just under 1 minute away. You've already heard the numbers of the two non-league sides definitely through, Whitley Bay and Darlington. Let me just give you the numbers of the other four non-league sides who are still in with a shout. Bishop Auckland, who replay against Crewe, they're 51. Welling United, whose replay with Reading, as you've heard, is on Wednesday, they're 56. Number 57, Aylesbury or Northampton, that replay Wednesday. And Gloucester City, who looked as if they were going to put out Cardiff, they are number 60. A few of the numbers of the big boys. Well, the holders Liverpool, the number to listen out for is 18. First Division leaders and champions Arsenal, they're number 1. Last season's beaten finalists Everton, number 13. And Man United, always a big draw, their number is 21. Right, it is now time for the draw. In the absence of Graham Kelly, who's in for the World Cup draw in Italy, is Adrian Titcombe, Head of Competitions and Regulations here at the Football Association. Adrian, over to you.
Good evening. This is the draw for the third round proper of the FA Challenge Cup. There are 32 ties. The home team will be drawn by Mr Gordon McKeague, Vice Chairman of the Challenge Cup Committee. The away team by Mr Arthur McMullen, Vice Chairman of the FA Council. Thank you, Mr McKeague.
Number 36.
Stoke City.
Number 1.
Versus Arsenal.
Number 56.
Reading or Welling United.
Number 37.
Versus Sunderland.
Number 40.
Watford.
Number 53.
Will play Wigan Athletic.
Number 7.
Brighton and Hove Albion.
Number 19.
Against Luton Town.
Number 64.
Bristol City.
Number 38.
Versus Swindon Town.
Number 58.
Maidstone United or Exeter City.
Number 25.
Versus Norwich City.
Number 33.
Sheffield United.
Number 5.
Versus AFC Bournemouth.
Number 31.
Port Vale.
Number 12.
Against Derby County.
Number 62.
Cambridge United.
Number 50.
Versus Darlington.
Number 16.
Leeds United.
Number 15.
Against Ipswich Town.
Number 63.
Torquay United.
Number 42.
Against West Ham United.
Number 14.
Hull City.
Number 24.
Will play Newcastle United.
Number 29.
Plymouth Argyle.
Number 28.
Against Oxford United.
Number 41.
West Bromwich Albion.
Number 43.
Against Wimbledon.
Number 4.
Blackburn Rovers.
Number 2.
Against Aston Villa.
Number 20.
Manchester City.
Number 23.
Will play Millwall.
Number 60.
Cardiff City or Gloucester City
Number 32.
against Queen's Park Rangers.
Number 44.
Wolverhampton Wanderers
Number 34.
versus Sheffield Wednesday.
Number 26.
Nottingham Forest
Number 21.
against Manchester United.
Number 55.
Birmingham City
Number 27.
against Oldham Athletic.
Number 52.
Huddersfield Town
Number 49.
versus Grimsby Town.
Number 9.
Chelsea
Number 51.
versus Crewe Alexandra or Bishop Auckland.
Number 57.
Northampton Town or Aylesbury United
Number 10.
against Coventry City.
Number 17.
Leicester City
Number 3.
against Barnsley.
Number 61.
Hereford United
Number 48.
versus Walsall.